everybody, welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and if you are new, hello. My name is Caitlin and this is Caitlin Reads and Rambles. So I am a student with the Open University and I'm studying for a history degree, and this channel is charting my progress throughout the degree, and also I want to give people information what it's like to be an Open University student, in particular the history degree pathway, because there's not that many videos about that. So I haven't been posting for the last 5 to 6 months, and that's because there's been a lot going on and I just didn't have the time to film, and I will explain in today's video what's been going on and also how my progress is with the Open University and also my plans for the future. So let's get to it. Hello everybody, so like I said in the introduction that I haven't been posting for the last 5 months, and that's because there's been a lot going on. So when I left you, I was preparing to go on holiday and also submit 2 assignments. So I went on holiday to Dubrovnik in Croatia and I really enjoyed it, and if you like history and architecture and things like that, really do recommend it. There is more to it than Game of Thrones, and I learned a lot of new things while I was there. I also went on a day trip to Bosnia and I really do recommend that because it does give a bit of history of Bosnia and also Croatia as well. There was a lot of things going on between them too, so I really do recommend it. I'm not going to really say that much because I don't want to spoil it if you're thinking about going. So like I said, I went on holiday, but what I did do, because I had my 2 assignments coming up, I downloaded all the module materials onto my tablet. I couldn't download the videos or the tutorials, but that was fine. I was able to catch up with them when I returned. But it really is a helpful idea if you are going on holiday, especially if you've got a long flight time. Download the module materials on your phone or tablet and you can do a lot of the reading, highlighting and annotating whilst on the plane, and that really did help. I actually did some study in the hotel because there was one day that I didn't really fancy going out, so that's what I did, and I managed to submit my inter-module assessment on the deadline day. And I did get an extension for A113 because I said I was struggling to do both and I had to get the EMA in. There was no ifs or buts about it. It needed to be in, so I couldn't get the extension for that. So basically I scored 62% for A111 end-module assessment, and that means for the whole module I scored 64% based on my other assignments. So that means I passed the module because I need to get more than 50% in the interactive computer assignment and also more than 40% overall in the module. So that means I was passed. So that's great. So that means that I was dropping down to part-time because I only had A113 and I scored 82% in my my 3rd assignment, and then I had my other assignments due. So I carried on with that. I also had full-time work going on, managing the house, and there was a lot of things going on at work and I just didn't feel like filming. But very recently, on the 3rd of August, I unfortunately suffered a heart attack, and I knew there was something going on, something wasn't quite right. So my husband called for an ambulance and they came and they said, right, you need to go to hospital. I was in hospital for about a week and a half, and when I got settled into the ward that I was on, I contacted the university and I let them know I don't know how long I'm going to be in hospital for. I don't know what I'm going to be getting, what the prognosis is, what's going to happen in the future, and I've got this assignment that needs doing and I'm really concerned about it. I actually had 2 assignments to do, but the one that I was concerned about was the end of module assessment because it had to be submitted. Again, no ifs or buts about it. It needed to be submitted to pass the module. I contacted the university and they got back to me and they basically said you have some options. So what you could do is submit the assignment. You could submit the assignment along with a special circumstances form you could postpone the assignment, I think, to back to like October, November time, or you could redo the whole module again, which I didn't really want to do the whole module again, considering I'd done so well with the scores and I don't know if I'll get them again. So what I said was like, I think I might just put the special circumstances form in, but they also mentioned that because I've already scored more than 40% in the module, I was able to submit anything. If I submitted something and I scored 1%, I would be able to pass the module and it would be fine. But obviously I wanted to do the best of my ability. So I said, right, okay, I'll leave it. I'll do the special circumstances form once I know what's going to happen. So I had an angiogram, couldn't tolerate it. So they said that I need to have a CT scan. And they said that I would have to probably wait a few more days. And I didn't feel like I could wait a few more days in the hospital. I needed out. I needed my own space and environment. So they were happy to let me out. And I got a phone call the next day to go to a different hospital to get the scan done, which is great. I am still waiting for the results of that. They haven't told me any information about what's going on, but thankfully I'm already under the cardiac team at another hospital and I managed to bring my appointment forward, and I'm going to ask them for advice what's going to happen basically. So in the last few weeks when I've been home, I've just been taking it easy. I've been trying to go out when my husband is here because he is the driver. I don't drive, and I find I get a bit breathless when I'm walking, which would be like long distance for me, but I'm trying to go a little bit further each day or each time I'm going out, just to try and get my like heart back to normal, shall I say. I am on medication, so I don't know if that affects it as well, to bring my heart rate down and things like that. But I am trying to do more and more each day, even though I haven't really been given any advice what to do. So that's what's happened so far, and I have actually submitted my end of module assessment for the Revolutions module. I didn't feel like doing it, but then over the last like few days in the weekend I was getting up, getting started doing some of my assignment, and on Friday and Saturday I was just cracking on. I just lost track of time, I didn't realise the time, and I managed to submit it. I just wanted it gone. I tried the best of my ability to get it done, and yeah, it's gone, and I know that I've already passed the module, so that's a relief. And also I know that I'll pass the first year. And the thing is with that is that first year does not count to your classification. So if you don't feel like you've done too well, but you know that you've passed, try not to dwell on it. The first year is there for you to learn how to do assignments and how to read, how to be a university student. And please don't worry if you don't feel like you've done that well, but you know that you have passed, you can improve. So what is the next plan for the future? So I'd already signed up to this next module and I thought, right, okay, I'm just going to do it because I am enjoying this course. I'm enjoying being a student. I'm enjoying the fact that I have something to focus on after work, and I'm not just aimlessly scrolling on TikTok. I'm not trying to find things on the TV to watch. I am actually doing something productive and something that would potentially help out in the future, maybe. Don't know. But it's something that I enjoy. So I signed up to my next module, which is the first module of my second year, and I am going to be part-time. I've said to myself, I'm staying part-time. I am not going to submit an application to do another module in February, because I know the work for level 2 steps up a bit and I want to give myself the best scores that I can get, and because it contributes to my classification and I want to do really well. So I have the books for the next module, and it actually opened up the website in August, which is very early compared to my previous modules, and officially it doesn't start till October, but the module website was open. And because I am not at work because of my health issues and I don't know what's going on, I have more time than I would normally have to be able to study. But because I was doing my end of module assessment, I didn't feel like I could do the study at the same time. I just wanted to focus on one thing at a time. So I'm going to show you what the next books are for the A223, which is early modern Europe. I believe it's 1500 to 1780, I believe. And I'm going to show you the book. So the first one I've got is Individual Lives and Things. So it's going to be looking at the social scale from the rich to the poor, how they coped with illnesses, how households were set up, and just like everyday life, and how religion impacted everyday life. So when I did A111, it did quite a different range of subjects, and now you'll be able to see why that is important, because it gives you a foundation for when you do the next module, so you have like sort of understanding. So that's why it's important. And the next one is common communities, activities and places, and that is book 2. So it's about the villages and behaviours in cities, and how guilds and parishes were set up, and the members and shops and schools, and just how like they were part of society. And then the next one is states, commerce and ideas. So this is how governments and states were set up, and how they dealt with financial services, community society and overseas trade, and how they dealt with conflict. And then the last book is the book that I had actually purchased myself, and it is a set book. It is quite pricey, but I thankfully had an Amazon voucher that I was able to use to buy this, so it didn't really cost me anything. And I was a bit hesitant to buy it because on my A111 module I bought the books and I didn't need them because I didn't answer the questions on them. Well, I did answer one on them, but I didn't really read the thing. I just read it from the from the actual question. So I did ask on the Facebook group, and they did say yes, you definitely need it. So the book is The European World 1500 to 1800, and it's the introduction of early modern history. So that is A223, and then my next plans would probably go to A225. And then I'm going to look into year 3 in a couple of years' time, because some of the modules might be changing. I do like the idea of doing the Welsh history one and the Scottish history, but there's some things going on with that, so I'm going to wait till near the time to see what modules are available. So that's my plans for the next year. Again, I'll try and do some videos to keep you updated. But just a last minute thing here. If you are thinking about becoming an Open University student and you're not sure, but you want to try it, please, please, please get your application in by the 11th of September, because that's when the applications close for this year. And the next one would be sort of for February time, but a lot of the modules don't have a February opening. The majority of them have them in the October. So if you're thinking about becoming a student, please get your application in before the 11th of September. If you're concerned about not getting student finance in time, don't worry about that. Get your application in, and then get your application in for student finance, because they will only chase you up about that, the university, for like a few months. It might take some time for them to process it, but if you start your application for student finance, it would help. And obviously you've got the option to self-pay for those who don't qualify for student finance, if you're international, or if you already have a degree and it's not on the degree that you want to do, it's not on the list of the second degree funding. Please get your application in by the 11th September if you're doing an undergraduate degree. I think it's a little bit longer for some of the master's courses, but for the master's you need to pay the university for the first module, and then you get the money back from the student loans. It works a bit different compared to big universities, because big universities you can just do the loan application. I think there's something not quite right there. It's a bit unfair there. But again, if you're starting your third year and you're thinking about becoming a master's student, my advice would be is to try and save some money up, so then you've got the money there available for when you do your master's application and you're not having to panic and things like that. There is the USBA loan available, which is the loan through the Open University, but you will be paying some interest on that, or you can just self-fund it. So that is that's just like my update there. So if you're thinking about becoming an Open University student, please just do it. Just do it, because I would recommend start part-time if you're not fully sure, but you're really kind of thinking about doing it. Start part-time, see how you feel, and then if you feel like you can do it, you can always pick up the second module like I did in February, but that would mean that you are full-time for 4 months, and then you drop back down to part-time up till like sort of September time, and then you go straight into your second year. That's if you want to do that, because you do need to apply for the module. So that is my update and my little guidance if you want to become a student. So any questions that you have, please ask them below and I'll try my best to answer them.